episode 92 right off the bat. I forget how I'm going to listen to the old episodes because I don't remember how I introduced the episodes before. I feel like we just talked and I like to just start it mid-talk roll. Because it's always kind of like how I like doing it. Just because like the formal book, that was so shit. Like the one I just did. Like why would I introduce the episode like that? Anyways, we're back everybody. Another week. Just so y'all know, be transparent. You guys are going to be hearing the first two episodes on a delay. Because I don't know why the fuck I'm telling you all the behind the scenes shit, but anyways. So if the news is a little late, we reported it on time. Recorded it on time. The episodes are just coming out late for now. Then once Tony's back from vacation and then we get regular, the news should start to be more current. So I ain't trying to hear no bullshit about how the news is a week late because I'm releasing it a week later. So I don't hear that bullshit. That's that one person who emailed us one time trying to tell me about how I was wrong about something. You're wrong, all right? You don't listen to me, all right? I'm not listening to you, okay? There's a reason for that. All right, anyways, now that that's out of the way, what have y'all been up to in since the last 5 days since we recorded or however long? How long has it been? Yeah, 5 days about, right?
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, right? Joe, what you been?
More than 5 days, I think.
Okay.
I mean, really, I haven't had much time for.
Oh, exactly 5 days. Sunday was the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
So it's Friday. Or Saturday. Oh shit, 6 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, really haven't had much time to do much just because my work schedule is really rough right now. So pretty much just guitar and I'll put on an anime. So I did watch Bocchi the Rock.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah, no, I really loved that anime. It was really good.
Cute animation.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any movies that I saw or any other things. This is more or less pretty much it. Guitar and Bocchi the Rock.
Excellent. So what do you, Mr. Tony? What you been up to this week?
I try to squeeze in a lot of stuff to do kind of after work because I can't wake up for the life of me.
Mm-hmm.
I barely woke up on time today, so that gives you any clue. But I have been actually trying to been recently into trophy chasing. So I've been trying to get trophies for just a bunch of video games that I really enjoy.
Oh, man.
One of them being Shadow of the Colossus. That's a really, really honestly probably my number one favorite game of all time.
Okay.
Just as from design and music standpoint, music is something really important for me in video games. So
excellent.
That will be that was a game that really inspired me to go forward into just gaming world in general.
Okay.
So cool. I'm trying to get all the trophies for there, but I'm also really lazy. So.
What's one of the first video game soundtracks that really stood out to you? Early days.
Honestly, still Shadow of the Colossus, because that's a game that I really did play early on. At least a game that I comprehended early.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I started playing video games when I was probably 9 or 10, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was playing Donkey Kong Country and just holding a unconnected controller, thinking I was playing.
Classic.
So,
younger sibling struggles that I never know about.
Exactly. Yeah, being the younger sibling, they don't want you to touch their shit.
Don't mess up the game, damn it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always find trophy hunting to be kind of a weird hobby. I have a friend who does that. Almost every game he gets on PS4, he will platinum it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sometimes I just don't know how.
Yeah, my friend Sarah, she platinums most of the games she really likes, right? She platinumed Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royale. She platinumed almost all the Final Fantasy games that exist on PlayStation 4. She goes in, and for me, I'm just kind of once I beat the game, I'm oh, the trophies I got along the way, those were incidental. That's cool.
For me, it's more of the sense that I won't trophy hunt unless I really enjoy the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good way to revisit.
Revisit it. Sometime I would really like to stream I want to do all the Souls series. I want to
that'd be great.
all of them. So
if you can do that, good luck, because I know some of those are pretty.
I'm actually still one trophy away from platinuming Bloodborne.
Do you know which one it is, or what you need to do?
All I have to do is the ending where you go to Gurman and just be just wake me the fuck up. It's such a
just go ahead
easy.
And cut my head off, please.
Yeah, it's just an easy trophy to get.
At least the last one's easy.
Putting it off. Yeah, I mean, I think I only have 2 platinums on PlayStation, and that's Tekken 8, which I got accidentally just from playing the game. It's like, here's your platinum trophy.
I have one of those accidental platinums too.
Yeah. Then like Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise is more or less kind of the same thing. You just play the game and grind, and you will pretty much get a platinum for that.
Yeah, for me that accidental platinum would be Sly Cooper.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just play the game, and then you eventually just get the platinum. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got that. What else has been going on with you?
Just trying to get into more. Trying to catch up on Yu-Gi-Oh. Just honestly, anime has been pretty much the same. Just waiting for new episodes for both Vinland Saga and Trigun Stampede.
Are those both weekly releases?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those ones are good.
The old long week waits. Because Netflix never knows what the fuck they're doing with that. It's either all at the same time. Like, didn't Wednesday do that recently? Didn't Wednesday all come out at the same time? I thought.
I think it was.
I think it was all at the same time only because.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think it was. Because it came out around close to Thanksgiving. Yeah. And it was already kind of all available. But then they have certain things that they just do.
Then there's certain things they do one at a week at a time.
And I don't get why.
I don't fucking understand. But yeah,
Wednesday was great, by the way.
Yes, very good. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been really up to this week.
Me, I've actually got to gather my thoughts this time because last time I was so sick I didn't fucking remember anything, and I was so fucking trying to soldier on in that episode as best as possible. So
last
this is still
like sick kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. So far the tacos haven't come back, so that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting over that obviously has been fucking annoying because. On the plus side, it happened on my days off. On the downside, it happened on my days off, one that kind of thing. So it's like whatever. But it happens. And at least it didn't happen during Thanksgiving this time, because that's almost always when it happens. It always happens right a few days. It happens the week of Thanksgiving, so that way I never get to eat Thanksgiving. There's 2 years in a row I didn't get to eat anything, so that was shit. So at least this Thanksgiving, I got to be thankful I got to eat because I could take a shit for once. Lately, I've been obviously work. All of us always just fucking that bullshit. One day support us so we can get full time, and then that way we can just do this shit. And
you won't have to hear us bitching about our jobs.
Exactly. That way you guys don't have to hear about this.
We have to adult
episode. Yeah. But yeah. So this one idol I like in her group NMix, her name's Lily, and like she's Australian, and like so I always like watching her streams because one, I like Australian accents, and then two, she's just really funny. And she recently started a book club, which is, I like the name, even though the name is kind of funny because of what it implies, but it's called Lily's Lost the Plot, which is kind of funny because book club plots, Lily's her name, and then kind of just making fun of the whole, mean that in English, in terms of British English and Australian English, meaning you're gone crazy, obviously. And so she's been, the first book series she chose was Harry Potter, but what she did is she told everyone specifically, if you're going to buy it, to buy secondhand, because that's what she did, because she didn't want to buy it. Because fuck J.K. Rowling. So I like the fact that she went out of her way to say that. I think that's a very important thing to not be prompted to say, that you just are kind of like, hey, just so you know, this is my personal, I feel you should do it this way if you're going to do it this way. You know, yes, I'm doing Harry Potter, although note the ways you should do it if you're going to do it. So I appreciated her for doing that. I thought that was kind of cool. Gaming wise, mostly on the phone, just because I'm out all the time. I played a game. Well, one, we were talking about Konami earlier before we were recording, and for me, that comes down to Castlevania Grimoire of Souls, which I've been playing, which is not any monetization that I've noticed yet, because it is through Apple Arcade, which is a paid subscription, so all those games are actual actual mobile games instead of going through the free-to-play versions or whatever. If there is free-to-play versions, it's the full versions, etc., etc. The cinematic animations are really cool, and the concept's pretty cool, the fact that, Castlevania's really gotten to the point where, how interesting is the plot really, because it's the same fucking thing every time, but, surprise, surprise, Dracula is trying to come back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's so that's the plot, Dracula's trying to come back, right? So it's
it's literally how many times we have to teach you.
How many times? We just need DJ Khaled and Chris Brown to talk about it, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's just okay, again, of course. And then in this one, for some fuck off reason, I'm fairly sure what I'm about to say already happened in another game or show or whatever, but I don't keep up with Castlevania that much. Is Alucard had some Japanese name, Akiato, whatever. It's basically like Alucard, but the way the Japanese would say it. And I'm just like, that's so stupid. So this person just decided, oh, I'm just Japanese now. Just like a fucking 15-year-old high schooler from the US. Like, you're just Japanese now? Like, what the actual fuck? I'm fairly sure maybe he actually is or whatever, but it's just dumb the way they put it in the game.
Do something like that with Aria Sorrow?
That might have been where it was, yeah. But so in this one, I forgot the actual name that the protag keeps calling him, and I'm just, not protag, but the main scientist lady who's a generic blonde chick with glasses and blonde hair, and like, and I'm just like, she just keeps calling him that, and I'm just like, this is so cringe. Just call him Alucard. Like, why the fuck are you calling him? That's so bad. But anyways, and it's weird too because she just keeps trying to simp for him, and so she'll just be like, oh, it's really cool how you beat that last level, and I was like, are you gonna tell me to buy gems or something? No, and she was just like, yeah, and he's just like, no need to stroke my ego. I'm like, what is this dialogue? So they're writing shit. Because it's fucking Castlevania, which I know all the Castlevania stands are going to get Superman that I said that, but it's Castlevania writing, so it's just like fucking whatever. You've been to Hot Topic once, you know how to write a Castlevania game. And so you're kind of going through and you're unlocking all the past champions. So now that I had Alucard, and here's a familiar plot. When you play as Alucard, when you go into the world, oh no, you have all your powers. So you're like a weaker version of Alucard. I'm like, I've already seen this. Like,
they just did that in Symphony of the Night.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, goddamn it.
You get into the game, you're like juiced up. And then
Exactly. So they kind of do that again, like in a way, except they don't even give you the chance to play as juiced up him. They just tell you he was juiced up, and then you play as shitty him. Which I guess is a little bit better, because at least you don't... Because that's such a cock tease. To like, just be so beast in the beginning of Symphony of the Night, just to get it all taken away, and you don't get that shit till like way later.
Yeah.
But you do start unlocking past heroes. So I got Simon Belmont, which was kind of cool. And even though Simon's from a shitty game, he's a pretty cool character. So he's just a himbo.
Can you get your name was Chanel.
I believe you can eventually unlock all of them. I think it was all the way through the N64 games they had everybody. Oh. They even had those two asshats. Whatever the fuck. The generic girl and the generic guy from the N64
Reinhard Schneider and Carrie Fernandez.
Yes, those pieces of shit. Yeah, they're in there also.
Yeah, that was the first Castlevania.
Oh no, I forgot. Well, at least you get the shit out of the way. It'd be like being born with diarrhea, and then you get regular shits later on. So that's good.
Yeah.
But like, those names, like they were trying, I guess.
Yeah.
Which one was the one where the sun, like the red moon, rose over in Japan or some dumb shit like that? And it was like
that's I think it was either Aria or Domino.
One of those, right? Yeah.
You mentioned Japan. It's gonna be
one of those two, right?
Yeah.
That's always so hilarious, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's funny cheese to me. But it's just also one of those things where I'm just like, this makes no fucking sense. Like, these European people in Japan and whatever the fuck, I'm like, this is so dumb. But the problem is, so the cutscenes look really good. They're really well animated. The music, the problem with Castlevania is, they just keep going back to the old music. So I just hear Vampire Killer and all that bullshit again. I'm like, well, I like the music, but should I compliment the music? Because it's just fucking Vampire Killer. Like, it's good, but how many times am I gonna hear this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's remixed versions or whatever, but it's the same shit. Make new good music, but it's whatever. And so, but then the in-game animations are like really weird 3D. It's side-scrolling still, but the 3D animations, that's when it starts to look a little bit like a phone game. But I hesitate to use that term, and I don't like that because that's very blanket term-ish. It's like saying like a Switch game, which what the fuck does that mean? Because we've seen fucking Fire Emblem Engage, and then we've seen No Straight Roads on fucking Switch. So we kind of see both sides, right? You guys, what you're hearing is my crop falling off, so I'm so sorry people listening. That's my crops keep falling off. But anyways, that's the thing. It's just like, that's where it starts to kind of like, you kind of see Konami just cutting the budget a bit. I see a lot of places they could have monetized it, and I give them credit for not. However, I also see where they kind of cut corners, and Konami just got really lazy. It's very fan servicey. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I'm going to get bored of that game probably soon. It's just getting very like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. It's very fanfare, very, remember this? And I'm just kind of like, yes, I do. So.
Kind of reminding me of like, I haven't played it, but it makes me think of like what Capcom's doing with Mega Man. Like Mega Man X Dive.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of sucks that you have these very strong franchises. Okay, yeah, we'll say, Mega Man X probably peaked at 4, but I mean, a lot of people still want Mega Man X9, but they're like, nah, here's a mobile game.
Exactly.
Right. So.
Pretty much, and that's what
Yeah.
it comes down to. Then I played another game called Beyond the Steel Sky. I have never audibly shouted in the middle of playing a game, I really don't give a fuck about any of this, and that is what happened during this game. So, Beyond the Steel Sky is a very tone-deaf, weird, bland game. I'm sorry, developers who made that game and really tried hard, but... And, like, so you start off, and you're watching this, like, so the cutscenes are all comic book panel style shit, and they're telling the story, and these Australian people are saying some shit I don't care about. And it's like, oh, I'm here with my friend's child, okay? Oh, yeah, we're getting some shrimps on the bobbies here on the beach. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then, a big mechanical submarine with Commander Snake came out of it. Cobra Commander came out and took the boy away. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? So, like, I'm just, like, trying to pay attention to the plot, but it's so fucking boring. And the voice acting is so bad. And then you finally get past all the fucking cuts. I eventually skipped through and I said, I can't watch this anymore. And so I skipped through with the really long loading time, which has nothing to do with my phone because my phone is like just overpowered for a fucking phone and all the other games run fine. So I don't want to hear about why this game takes fucking forever to load. Then you enter not New Vegas and it's just this, I guess it's kind of supposed to be post-APOC in a way. And I'm just kind of like, between the bad voice acting and the fact that this just makes me want to play New Vegas now, I'm just kind of like, this is so sad. So I don't know, I eventually got bored and turned it off, and it was just horrible. Like,
They're not installed forever?
Yeah, pretty much. I just saw this, you see this girl, and she's just like, I don't know, she was doing something to, so you find a destroyed one of the robot dudes that took the boy away, but he's dead already, and she's like messing with him, and he just goes up to her. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. But anyways, fuck that game. And then going on to the game I've been addicted to, but I'm not sure if I should be, is a game called Devolver Tumble Time. I don't know why the fuck I typed that. I actually just typed that wrong. I put time because I'm stupid. But it's called Devolver Tumble Time. And it is a very self-aware, I don't know, it's odd. So it's a physics-based puzzle game. And in there, it's all the beloved mascots of all, because I'm a big Devolver mark, Messenger, Minute, Downwell, Ape Out, like Gris. I played like so many of the fucking games, and not all of them. I at least own all of them. I don't know if I've played all of them, but I own all of them. Love Devolver. So what Devolver decided to do was release a mobile game that's free to play and ad supported that is a physics-based puzzle game. With very self-aware tons of monetization. So, you can play the game, and I'm sure you could probably beat the game by grinding it out and watching a bunch of cringy ads about irrelevant games that you don't want to play. You watch the ad, wait 5 seconds, click X, you can play the next level. It has the hearts thing, so you can only play so many levels at a time before waiting for your hearts to come back. And it's so weird because Devolver is that rebel, anti-corporate developer. Or publisher, I'm saying developer. Publisher. But they purposely did this game to mock people because it's a very ironic game. Like, it's very clearly tonally, like, making fun of these types of games. But it is one of these types of games. And I'm so conflicted, right? So the first package I bought was the Hearts package because it is annoying having to wait hours to play some more. Because I did like the game, right? And you basically are turning this toy machine around, and the toys are the heads of all those favorite characters. Yeah. And you're turning it, you're trying to match it, and then as you match it, stuff starts happening, bombs go off. It's a very amazing sensory overload thing. Lapidus Labyrinth was a game I raved about on the podcast in the past that I absolutely loved because there's so much going on. But that was a full-fledged game, just came out, you played it, and you didn't have to pay any more money. And on this one, you don't have to. And that's the thing where I think Devolver realizes they do have an out. But I'm still so conflicted because there are monetizations I'm going to bring up in just a second of exactly when they put that and how they put it. And so, I bought the first tier, so for $3, now I have unlimited plays. Okay, good. So I figured to myself, I'll just earn everything else. I'm not going to buy the characters, I'm not going to buy, whatever, just fuck all that. So you can unlock characters, again, from the Messenger and their other games, that you use as your little avatar and they all have different powers that they can do to help you beat each puzzle a little bit easier. And so you're doing that, and then for example, now here's an example of the monetization. When you when you lose too many times in a row, a screen comes up and goes, having trouble, why not buy everything? And for $99.99, you just beat the game. So it'll unlock all the characters for you. It gives you all the gems more than you can ever need. It gives you all the coins you can't use anymore because you already own all the characters. And then you get all unlimited hearts, and you get everything for $100. But now you don't need to play the game anymore because you just paid $100 to beat the game. And they'll really take your money, but it's a joke. They're gonna really take your money if you click that button, and you have to do Face ID and everything or Touch ID. But they're kidding. But they will do it. And that is exactly where I'm so... Because I'm going to do a blog post. This is going to be one of our first blog reviews in a while. Yeah. None of us have wrote a blog review in a while, so I'm going to publish that. I'm going to do a review on it, but like, here's the audio version so y'all can kind of hear that. And I almost do want to do a video review of it as well, because I haven't done a video review in a while. Because I kind of want to show people what I mean by that. But it's so weird. And then but you don't actually have to pay any money, but you could. And that's kind of like where they play with you the whole time. And it's so self-aware, nudge, nudge, and it has these funny animations where they're just like, LMAO, just pay to beat the game, dumbass. And I'm just like, it's so funny, but I'm almost kind of like, but you all now have a game where you're one of those games, but you're ironic about it.
Right.
So it's so weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I haven't heard anyone talk too much about how they feel about Devolver dropping a game like that, again, because they are the anti-corporate company, and they still are in this game being anti-corporate and making fun of it. But they're like, hey, but if you wanna, they got their hand out still.
You want to take the easy way.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of that. And so you can buy gems a la carte. You can buy, now the packages are pretty generous. Like even if you don't get the $100 one, like there's like a $5 one and a $4 one, which will give you quite a bit of gems and stuff to get characters you need. And we'll get you far enough that you probably wouldn't need to buy beyond. So you could say, like for me, it's a $3 game because I don't plan on buying anymore. I'm trying to grind out the rest. But I don't want to spend any more. But even if you did even spend $5 on it, that's still more coins than you need, more hearts than you need. The package I bought, by the way, I totally skipped out on this. Another sense of the irony, right? I bought the $2.99 package, right? $3 for unlimited hearts, but it's only for 999 years. So that's a subscription model. It's unlimited hearts for 999 years for $2.99. So that's what I bought. So I figured 999 years I'll probably be dead anyways, right? So I figured, but you see what I'm saying, right? This is where like the memes are happening, but I really did give them money. But the memes are happening. So it's like, I love it and I hate it, and I don't know if I should do I would say y'all, for next, so we can talk about it next time, y'all should at least install it. Do not spend any money unless y'all want to, but do at least see what I mean. But anyways, as far as the game itself goes though, it is so much fun trying to match up all the different characters, seeing those characters, because I just absolutely love them, so it's cool seeing little cartoon versions of them. As you make these different paths, the more paths you make, different types of bombs start dropping, you get time boosts, you get these cool animations. On the iPhone at least, the haptic feedback, they use that engine, it feels so, like the rumble feels so, like the way they do it's good, you can almost feel the pattern of the rumble, kind of like what the PS5 has with the moving vibration shit, so it feels like it's going down a certain way. And the visuals, explosions, the colors, it's a sensory overload in a good way. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, it's so much fun when you start doing good and winning. And then I think to myself, which almost makes me want to spend money, which, almost makes me want to be playing one of those games, but I am playing one of their games, and they're not the bad guy, so I could give them money, but then if I'm giving them money, it's kind of like one of those games, and it starts to go back towards, and I get this moral quandary where I'm just like, it's a joke, but it's also like a donation machine in a way for them, where they're just kind of like, we'll just take what we get, because it is a free game. We made it, we released it, we literally are telling you guys we do not expect you all to pay anything. Because it's a joke. But I'm just saying. And that's kind of like how it keeps going. So I'm very confused by it, but I do. Exactly. Now, they do have a developer to pay, so I can kind of see why they did it in that way also. It's a developer called No Popo. And I didn't look at anything else they made. They're probably just a strict mobile developer. But they did make that. But again, the animations are great. The joke, the way they do it, even the way I'm telling y'all, as funny as I'm trying to make it sound audibly, I'm trying to make it sound funny because that's how it is when you're like experiencing the ad pop-up with the stupid stuff that literally says pay to beat the game, basically. So just stuff like that. But I'm just so conflicted because I'm like, it is a joke, but now there is a game by Devolver where there are microtransactions. So I'm kind of like, but also ha ha ha, but also So it's weird how I feel about it. So yeah, so basically you can pay as low as nothing up to $99.99 is the highest tier. But you do stuff like that, it's pretty wild. I would say you probably have more investment of it if you played a lot of Devolver games, because again, seeing the ninja from the messenger, the 8 from Ape out, kind of makes you care a bit more. And then if you don't have much attention to that, it's still a pretty fun puzzle game. You just probably won't get the fact that it's cool seeing these characters in one big thing together. So it's interesting though. Like I said, it'd be interesting if y'all would at least play with it for a little bit. So I'm just curious what y'all would think about the game itself at least.
Yeah.
And then kind of like me try to explain more tying out if you guys have any questions like that. I'd be curious to see, but we'll see what happens by next episode. You're gonna be on vacation, maybe something you can kind of grind out for a meme while you're on the car or something, just for fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. That pretty much wraps up my week. Since I actually had a bit of a week this time instead of barely being conscious on the podcasts. Channel plug time. If you can find me anywhere, you can find me at ZD Rocker, or you can also find me on Twitch at KDrive Radio. SlimAsianEntertainment.com will take you to my YouTube. As well, of course, we got DisconnectedCast.com. Tony, where can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me literally anywhere at Leishinto. That would be LEIHSHINTO.
And Joe?
At Shiro Joestar, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, where I haven't done anything in a long while. Shiro Play 5.
All right, and if you have any questions coming up, or if y'all just want to send us some memes, or if you just want to be that troll that I'm just going to delete the email, make fun of the other podcast, you can hit us up at disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. Okay, so first bit of news, Sony is going to be adding baked-in Discord voice integration to PS5. As far as I know, only to PS5 for now. And at the moment, only if you're in the beta program.
Yeah.
Do you know how to sign up for the beta program to tell anybody, or do you not know how to do all that?
No, I don't think. I mean, it's probably just you just go straight up to their website and you're able to just sign in.
Sign up for it or whatever.
Yeah, you sign it up. You kind of have to link your. I know right now what everybody can do is link their PlayStation account to their Discord account. And that's kind of how it's going to be set up. So the way it basically is going to work, because I've seen how it works.
Yeah.
And basically, you just got to have them all linked up. And as for how to exactly sign up, I'm not really too sure because I probably should have been a part of it. But
yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
I didn't catch the curve right as it happened. So.
Gotcha. So yeah, we do. And so other features that are going to be coming to PS5, of course, include improved data transfer, voice prompted game captures, game sorting. So I guess what you can just basically say, PlayStation, record that. I remember used to be able to say that on Xbox on the Connect, record that, and it did like the last 30 seconds or whatever. So PlayStation is going to be doing that. And then of course, yeah, there's my note saying you have to be part of the beta, but I just wanted to make a mention to note that ahead of time. I just feel like and I know it's probably a rights licensing thing. I know there's a lot of red tape litigation, especially going through stuff with corporations like Sony, PlayStation, Sony, Xbox, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Fuck, I forgot the parent companies for a while. There's a lot of stuff where I'm sure they have to make deals. They both got to make money. Obviously, they got to pay to have Discord on there if they're going to use Discord on there. But big companies, if you have a fucking console, listen up. Fucking have Discord. Because we don't use your shitty app, Nintendo. I don't use your fucking piece of shit app, Xbox. PlayStation, it doesn't even fucking work, your shitty app, okay? So, with that being the case, we all just use Discord anyways. We don't give a fuck how much you try to force us to use your half-baked bullshit app voice chat. We just either use the one that's in the game already, so you have your Xbox parties, your PlayStation parties. Nintendo didn't even fucking have that. And then you have the fact that most of us just will link them on Discord, because why the fuck not? Discord it just makes the most sense. We're all on there trolling around in our bullshit sub-Discords anyways, whether it's mine where I'm in like fucking literally like 80-something tape-up ones. They have all the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh ones, whatever the fuck, like anime ones. There's all sorts of Discords. So let us be out there where we're spending most of our day messing around anyways, and allow us to talk to our friends while we're gaming on there also. Because we're going to just try to find a way to do that anyways. I can't wait for a world where we actually do have Discord on everything. Not to mention, that'll make inter-party chats even easier, talking about your Xbox friends, PlayStation friends, and your Nintendo friends, as well as your PC friends, all on Discord. Because Discord's just been such a great... I've seen so many versions of that, like TeamSpeak? Or
TeamSpeak.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Ventrilo.
I tried it in the past that just weren't that good.
Yeah.
And Discord has nailed it. Like, the way their stuff works is so good. So, I can't wait for a Discord everything world.
I always hate it when I would get into a gaming group and they're like, "We use Skype," and I'm like,
Good days.
"Oh, you just want to hog your resources? Okay."
Yeah, it's like I love playing my game at 3 yes, because of stupid ass Skype. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I think we only ever had to record one podcast guest on Skype before, and yeah, I think that was the only time. So a GameStop manager was recently fired after a $5,000 PS5 robbery happened. This was in
That sounds very on brand for GameStop.
Yeah, this was in Easton, Pennsylvania. What's PA? Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Easton, Pennsylvania, and 2 men tried to rob it. Now, there's a lot of suspicion on whether or not it was an inside job, or perhaps it was an ex-employee or something, because the way it went down is 2 men showed up, and they just happened to be when there was exactly 1 employee that's going to be there. Yeah. But then again, right, you've been to a store, and if you go to a store a lot, you start to notice habits. So, like, they never have people during this hour. They always have a fucking meeting during this hour.
If you go often enough.
You start to notice, if you go often enough, or if you're just a scumbag, you'll start to notice shit like that, where you'll see when is prime time to steal, basically.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of suspicion on that, because alleged CCTV video footage apparently leaked on Reddit, and people are kind of like, okay, convenient. If it also could just be real that someone leaked CCTV footage, but it's also really interesting where if it is an inside job, it'd be perfect to leak footage, because it all kind of made it seem like it wasn't an inside job. It's almost like there was so much evidence, too much evidence proving it wasn't an inside job, that people are starting to get suspicious and wonder, was it an inside job?
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious to see if it actually was or not. But basically, it doesn't say whether or not it was armed robbery, at least not in the initial thing. But 2 men came in. Basically, I would imagine maybe armed. Although that maybe I wouldn't. The reason I say I wonder if it was armed or not is some people do consider that, because that raises your charge. Regular robbery versus armed robbery is gonna if you do get caught, that's a completely different charge. So you also have they went there straight to the back room again, kind of making this, like, they just knew where everything was. Took $5,000 worth of PS5s. Which how does one store have? I can't even find a PS5. How the fuck does one store have $5,000, which is only like 10 of them? Yeah. But still, it's like which is like, I don't know math. Hold on, they're $500 each.
Yeah,
that's 10 of them, right? Yeah. So I guess 10's not that far-fetched, but at the same time, I've never seen 10 PS5 at any store. Although you see those TikTok videos of like people going to Best Buy and buying like a whole pallet of them and shit like that. How real that is, who knows? It's TikTok. It's probably fake. Let's see. Yeah. A week later, after it happened, GameStop allegedly fired a 13-year-old. Let me rephrase that. A person who's been working there for 13 years.
Oh, okay.
Manager over the theft, leading other employees to quit in protest, because they're just like, you weren't even there.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there. Like, how could you fire me? Like, what the fuck?
And I mean, yeah, that's like super on brand for GameStop, because I think there was one incident where there was an armed robbery and they stole money from the register, and GameStop like fired the manager on duty, the one who was like, yeah, here you go.
I'm not risking my life.
Exactly. And GameStop was like, how dare you not sacrifice your life to protect our dollars?
Yep, our dollars that mean fuck all to us as a fucking corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Dystopian capitalism.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's kind of how that went down. So it's a lot of mess, basically. It's a mess to begin with. The more layers you peel away, was it an inside job? Why the fact that corporate would fire a manager that wasn't even there, the fact that they were there for 13 years, maybe they were making, because I've seen companies do that before. I'm not going to say any particular companies in general, but I've seen companies do it that have fired people because they've been there for a while and make too much money than they want them to, and will find any fucking excuse to get rid of them. It's almost as if that's happened before. Interesting. So, alright, so there is going to be an Imgur link, which I'm going to add to the podcast notes on our website. That's going to lead to the Imgur post where the alleged CCTV footage was uploaded. Now, I get why if you did upload the CCTV footage, especially if it's to kind of maybe these people are trying to build a case for the manager to have his job safe, to show how it went down, the fact that it wasn't even there, the associate, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But it also was, if it was an inside job, that's exactly what I'd want to do on an Anon Imgur account with no uploads. Upload that footage to just say, see, it wasn't, totally wasn't planned. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. Rumored Legend of Zelda Lego set is apparently in the works, and it's supposed to. It's just rumored by. Oh, did I forget to notate who leaked it? I'm gonna put the alleged leak photo in the podcast notes as well. But it's supposed to be the Great Deku Tree, and it's going to be a 2-in-1 set, letting fans choose to either have the Ocarina of Time or the Breath of the Wild look. Minifigs, thank you, there it is. Minifigs was the one who reported on this. Their leaks apparently have been pretty reliable. Other things leading to the fact that people believe it's probably going to be that is Nintendo did recently do those big Mario collabs with Lego, so it's very possible that this will be the next natural one.
Right.
And Lego did do a survey of if you saw a franchise have a Lego set next, who would you want? And Zelda overwhelmingly won that poll. So that's the reason that people are believing that that's going to be the case, but that's curious. Now Legos, interesting topic. I'm sure we all grew up on them for the most part, if not their generic counterparts, Mega Blocks and whatever poverty-ass fucking blocks exist out there. With that being the case, is Lego a hobby that you've ever entertained in your adulthood as something you'd be interested in, but for whatever reason you didn't? Or is Lego just kind of something you remember fondly as your childhood memory, but you really don't have much interest in it anymore?
For me, it was definitely, I definitely have some childhood stuff, because I had some Star Wars Legos and whatnot. Yeah, the price tag.
Yeah, yep. Okay,
So
that's what I was hoping
like,
if one of you two didn't mention that, it was definitely going to be me.
Yeah.
One, it would be where the fuck to store all my magnificent pieces once I finish them.
Too.
And then 2 was going to be the prize, though. Yeah, so when we go to the store sometimes and we pass by the toy section, I love looking at them, and I'll kind of look and I'm like, ooh, the Star Wars one's out or whatever. And I'll be like, ooh, that Minecraft one looks kind of sick.
120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Legos is just like, if it's almost been that expensive, I'm sorry my parents, but goddamn. Like,
To be honest, it's I don't do Legos anymore, and I respect people who build Legos still to this day, like as an adult.
mm-hmm.
I
heard of
there's some really big like Lego projects. Like for example, like I saw like this whole like TikTok strand of it was like 5 parts because they took forever to build the Millennium Falcon, and it just had such little details in the ship that it was like the size of like their kitchen table. Like it was huge, and that's just so much respect because they had like 16 bags worth of pieces that they had to go through and just follow step by step. They had like a whole, basically like a textbook of how to build their Millennium Falcon. I don't really do Legos right now. That's something I more did as a child as well. But I never followed any books. I just built wherever the hell I felt like.
Yeah.
Right now, what I do build is I build Gundams.
Okay, you did get some gunpowder. Okay.
Yeah, so I do those because at least those. I mean, they do have a lot of pieces, but I feel like it's a little bit more tame than Legos can be. Because sometimes just I've seen my brother, for example, actually still to this day does build like Legos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
I look at the books and I'm just like, nah, this is too much for me.
For sure, and it's a little funny to think of it, just because gunpla can get very expensive. And complicated as well, so it's interesting. But
I would say I should link y'all this video. There's this channel on YouTube, Natyrix, and there's one where so it was her birthday, so she bought herself some Lego sets. But when she gets them, she finds out that they're like these bootleg ones.
Oh no!
Like her brother jokingly called them the People's Republic of Lego. So she ends up having like a small little Lego party, and with the completed Legos, she then decides to use them as kind of like a base for a model.
Mm-hmm.
So she makes this diorama out of it, and it's really cool what she does with it. So I'm gonna have to link that to y'all.
For sure.
And, she has other neat videos too. Like she was once given like a broken amiibo of the Guardian from Breath of the Wild, and then she ended up making like a model diorama like
that's really cool.
with it. It's just really cool. There's also one, the Going Merry from One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I remember, I'll link y'all those videos. They're definitely a cool watch.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that'd be really cool to see. So that's awesome. But yeah, so potential Zelda Lego set in the works. That would be really cool. So following up on some of the Microsoft shit we talked about last time about all the layoffs, Halo not getting any more support, Phil Spencer trying to say everything's still hunky-dory over there. They're trying to buy Activision Blizzard to be a massive piece of shit instead of separate pieces of shit. And they, what else? I don't know, just basically them really trying to parade around like that company isn't just completely falling apart, at least in the games division. Well, recently, after all of that, they did announce that Halo Infinite isn't going to get any more story DLC, which is stupid because that's one of the things that they promised for the longest time.
Isn't that why it was called Infinite?
Yeah.
Halo not so infinite after all.
And then, of course, they're also going to be switching to Unreal Engine. And here's the kicker. Both moves are basically because Halo Infinite is going to get transformed into a Battle Royale. So welcome to the... I guess we don't fucking have enough of that bullshit.
You might as well just put Master Chief in Fortnite.
Yeah, pretty much.
Assuming he's not in there already.
Right?
He's in there already.
Oh, never mind.
So Microsoft...
Of course he's in Fortnite now.
Yeah.
Who isn't at this point?
So basically, in an effort to be 10 years late to the party, Halo is basically just saying, fuck making a good game, fuck our loyal fans. Battle Royale, though.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going to be going with that, which is fucking dumb. And then, of course, the switch to Unreal is just because that makes it a little bit easier since that's what fucking Fortnite uses. So.
That's really funny. Yeah, also Doom guys in Fortnite now, too.
Oh my god.
Yep.
When
So you have fucking Deku, you have Deku, you have fucking Goku, you have fucking Thanos, you have Darth Vader, you have fucking
John Wick.
Yep, Ryu and Ken, John Wick.
Naruto.
Yep, Naruto's in there. So Master Chief can go fight Thanos, and then
while training with Kratos.
Yeah, and then Darth Vader can go fight Doom Guy. It's fucked. So fucked. That's the problem with having too much money. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. God, I remember playing old PvE Fortnite. That was actually kind of fun.
Oh yeah, Save the World that they say they were going to make free, and to this day is still not free.
Yep.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
And it sucks because like that was actually a pretty fun game to play with friends.
Yep.
And then now it's just this.
That's the thing. All these games are literally selling their souls or giving up what they're about just to fucking have a Battle Royale version of that Battle Royale mode. Just because money and skins and fucking $20 skins, and that's all they want to fucking do.
Honestly, that's why I grew mad respect for No Man's Sky, because they stuck to their guns.
They actually did.
Yeah.
Even though they set such a horrible precedence that ruined our industry because everyone else tries to be in the next No Man's Sky, they at least delivered on what they promised.
Yeah, they weren't
no
like,
more money.
What? Space Battle Royale.
Yeah.
You know, like, they didn't do anything like that. So.
Yep, exactly. Oh my god, please. No Man's Royale. Alright, so... Overwatch 2 Season 3, well, this is where the weird time skip's going to happen because it'll be out already by the time this episode drops. But from when we're recording this, it's going to come out this upcoming Monday. Right. So now y'all know when we recorded this. But yeah, Season 3 is going to start. But not just that, Overwatch 2 is going to let players earn skins for free again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. But what's the shitty catch? Here's the shitty catch, because Blizzard, there's no way Activision Blizzard was going to obviously fucking do that shit. So, I'm going to read a lot of this verbatim. Some of this stuff is from an article that was on Kotaku originally. I forgot the author, so sorry. I kept the note for another article that we're going to actually cherry pick from a little bit. But Blizzard is going to be reintroducing Overwatch credits as addition to the Overwatch coins, which already exist already. Premium currency that carried over from the original game, which cost more money. Credits, it's going to be how it works. So yeah. So, in Season 3, we're bringing back Overwatch credits. Yesterday's Season 2 postmortem blog says, these credits are a revision of legacy credits, earnable currency that's carried over from Overwatch 1. Those who played the first game are likely to have none of these already, which you kind of already saw if you had fired up the game any time recently. But then there was no way to add them anymore, yada, yada, yada. So you're basically shit out of luck if you never played the first one. And even then, you had to have already credits sitting there, which was so stupid. That's what happened to IQ, where they auto-opened all his loot boxes and they didn't even let him do it. And they just converted him to legacy credits. So, with that being the case, yada, yada, yada. Here we go. So, all players can earn up to, which means you have to play like 3,000 trillion fucking hours of Overwatch. 1,500 credits as free rewards and another 500 as premium rewards throughout the season pass now. So those tiers where you're getting useless ass sprays, useless ass emotes, and useless ass voice lines, now you can also earn useless ass credits. So pretty much, even if you get that entire thing to get that really badass looking Kiriko skin, I hate the fact that that's going to be the final skin because where's my credit card at? But anyways, now 2,000 total credits, or excuse me, 1,500 in credits and 500 as platinum rewards is not fucking worth it. And so to that much grind, they basically, that's the thing. They're giving, it's one of those fucking fallacies of choice, especially with Overwatch. You don't have to spend any money, but if you didn't play Overwatch 1, good fucking luck playing Overwatch 2, because you're going to have no characters, you're going to have no skins, you're going to have no fucking anything. And it's just such a horrid thing to just say it's a free game. It's such a joke. Because at the very least, to start in Overwatch 2, you at least want to get the $30 watch point pack, or whatever the fuck it's called, so that way you can get the base characters from Overwatch 1, plus Kiriko. Well, I don't even know if you get them anymore, because you did, at one point, you got Kiriko, Junker Queen, and Sojourn if you got that before a certain time, so I don't even know if that fucking applies anymore. You get some shitty skins that nobody cares about, and if you look a lot of the skin packages you could buy, they're all like the most mid-ass skins from Overwatch 1 in some of those packs. It's just a package of the most, what skins did nobody fucking want? Let's make a package out of it. Like, who the fuck put these together? So I don't know, it's so stupid. It's really fucking bad. I don't know why the fuck they did it that way, and I mean, it's just a disappointment, because I really like that game. I mean, it has nothing to do with why I haven't been playing it that much recently. That's more so just a time thing. But it is just really sad to see, because I really like that game. I think Overwatch has so much potential to be a very good, I mean, it was a very good esport for a while. I actually did enjoy watching that shit and like whatever. So it just has so much chance for that, but now they just really wanted to triple down on the fucking monetization. And it is lesser of two evils between loot boxes, but I don't want that. Like what kind of win? Like what kind of win is that? Where you're like, well, it's better, is it? Like, and by how much? You know. So that's just the issue. I like ran into that. It's just really annoying. It's a shame, because there's cool characters. We have fun when we play it, but it's just so scummy while you're doing it. It's just like you're covered in slime basically while trying to enjoy it. It just sucks that they're putting so many hurdles in the way to do that. Have you been playing it much lately, Tony?
Not really. I mean, I played enough to the point where I was able to barely scrape by and finish this battle pass. So
That's
I can get
crazy.
that Zeus skin for.
Yeah, I can't believe you actually got all the way there.
Yeah, surprisingly I did. I barely scraped by to get that, and then at that point I was just like, yeah, I'm not playing anymore. That was kind of an already tiring moment to just barely trying to get there, because I had like 7 levels left, so I had to play like a good amount of games in order to actually reach there. Mm-hmm. That's another thing too. I feel like their challenges that they have for their battle pass and stuff like that, I hate having to feel like I'm doing a chore while I'm playing the game. Yep. I just want to play the game and earn this stuff.
Earning should be a byproduct, and you should just play the game as intended. Yeah. Not do 3 backflips while carrying a Genji who sucks shit across an entire map. It's like, well, no, fuck that.
Yeah, like, I'm okay with it if it says something like, play 3 matches as a tank. Like, okay, that's fine. Like I just gotta play as a tank. It's all good. You know, that's fine. I'm still playing the game. It's not like, play this, get this amount of wins, play this freaking map or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing all that.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised they don't have challenges that you can't even do, like get 3 wins at Bull Sky, which doesn't even exist right now. They need to bring Bull Sky back. I love that map.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. Joe, any? I know at one point you thought about it, but I'm sure maybe that window is past. Have you even give a fuck about trying to get back into Overwatch anymore? Not really.
No, not really. No.
And fair enough because
That's fine.
Yeah, and fair enough because
it's
it's
probably
sort of
a good
this
choice.
point where I'm already the honeymoon phase is already wearing off.
Exactly. Like
girl,
almost
so.
everybody I know doesn't play it anymore.
Yeah.
And
It was that quick surge of like everybody and
Yeah.
then almost nobody.
And then I've just been so busy with like other shit.
Yep.
Like I honestly like these past couple of weeks I've kind of been reflecting on how I'm gonna be adjusting my priorities and shit. I mean, I haven't fucking played Yu-Gi-Oh in so long, but I really think I'm just gonna keep it super casual now. Even with video games, it's like I think I'm just gonna focus on like just small things. Like
That's good.
like right now,
Manageable.
yeah, like right now it's Breath of the Wild and Fire Emblem Engage. You know, I'll play Fate Go on my mobile phone and whatever. Just everything else I'm just noodling away on my guitar.
That's good.
And hopefully we'll do something with that later. But,
Well, no,
it's just I'm getting to a point where it's like I really don't have time to be doing a lot of that anymore.
Yep, and fair enough. I mean, we all get to a point where, especially as adults, we're getting older and busier, and we do need to start doing stuff to the point where we'll actually enjoy it instead of feeling pressured like we need to do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you're kind of getting that sorted.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, because I saw that it had battle passes, and I kind of hate that format. As much fun as I did have playing Master Duel, I did kind of hate that they have their own version of the battle pass, and it's like, oh well, I better play this so that I can get that cool duel mate or that cool art or whatever. Yeah.
Pretty much. So yeah.
See, the only difference though is the only reason why I don't really mind for Master Duel is you just play the game. There's no challenges. There's nothing like that.
I will give Master Duel credit for that, and then also I do like the fact that for the most part you don't really need to buy gems. I mean, if there's a deck that's already kind of fading, you can just turn those cards into like those tokens and then use those to craft the ones that you need. I mean, shoot, they were, especially when the game first launched, Konami was tossing you gems left and right, and you can make yourself. Oh no! I feel really bad. I forgot whose stream it was, but have you heard of Team Samurai X1?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know if that's a good yeah or a bad yeah.
Eh.
Okay, yeah. So okay, cool. Cause like, I remember like when Master Duel dropped and Team Sam does his whole like, "What's up, guys? This is my tier 1, tier 0 Blue Eyes White Dragon deck on Master Duel. I'm gonna tell you how to. This deck is a fucking beast." And then like. I'm sorry, like, Blue Eyes is nostalgic and I love it, but it's kind of a not great deck. And I forgot what stream I was watching, and some guy in the chat was like, "Oh man, I wasted all my gems because I saw this YouTube video about Blue Eyes, White Dragon, and, my deck sucks, and now I don't have the gems to make a new deck." And I'm like, Team Sam strikes again.
My first 2 decks were an Exodia deck and a Winged Dragon of Ra deck. Which Winged Dragon of Ra was okay, but it had nothing up against what Yu-Gi-Oh was at that point in time.
Yeah, my friend who got back into Yu-Gi-Oh was played Winged Dragon of Ra, and he was having fun with it and stuff. And I told him, I was like, hey, I was watching him play Dark Souls. I think it was Dark Souls. And he always goes for very unga bunga builds, right? And so he's running around, strength build, big ass greatsword, and I said, hey, you like just playing very unga bunga, right? He's like, yeah, like that's just my playstyle. You should play Dinos.
Yeah.
And he went to Dinos and he fucking loves it.
Big beat sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Why do complicated thing if big numbers go boom?
Exactly. With Master Duel, I went straight into making Salamangreat, which is not a cheap deck because you got to get your access code and you got to get your Sunlight Wolves. But I mean, I went straight for it, and I do give Master Duel a lot of props that you can totally make a very strong competitive deck. I would say the only downside is you do need to do some research.
Yeah. Especially when you don't know much about the game at its current state, then it's difficult to get into.
Yeah.
But it's really fun.
Otherwise, you're just going to be those scrubs that just buy Blue Eyes White Dragon for the nostalgia and then, ripperoni and cheese.
You realize it's not good.
Yeah. Damn, we're going on a tangent. What were we going on?
I just wanted to let y'all, let y'all do your thing real quick.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! We get straight into just a vortex of just talking about it for.
No, you're good. I mean, there's only one major news line left, so that's the only reason. It's not like I was like, oh no, we're running out of time.
To be completely honest, put me and Joe in like one of those like the quietest room in the whole world, and we'll just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. I think we'll be okay.
This is now a side Yu-Gi-Oh. It's really strange considering how like shitty Konami is that Master Duel is like one of the few things that they're doing not exceptionally well, because there's definitely a lot of criticisms that are fair with Master Duel, but for the most part, it's not that bad. It's surprisingly not that bad. I like the stages. I like the duel mates. I think the duel mates are pretty cool.
Especially the one that recently came out, or not the duel mates, but the mat. Mutant duel mat. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, but I remember when mutants were coming out.
So cool.
And everybody was hyping that they were going to be reptile. Like, I don't think they were.
So the duel mat is all of the duel mats are reactive, but this one especially is really reactive because when your life points get low, the laboratory turns from blue to red and it starts sounding in alarm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Like if you go back into it and play the solo mode, and you start beating the NPC's ass with your own deck, then you'll get to see what it is. It's really cool.
That's another thing I like about Master Duel. I wish they would kind of expand a bit on it more, but I love that the solo mode gives you opportunities to explore the lore.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is one thing I really like about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the cards have really nice art and there's some pretty cool lore and stories going on.
Yeah, that's when I fell in love with Vendreads and I fell in love with World Chalice.
World Chalice is pretty cool. And then Vendreads, it's like, hey, do you like Resident Evil?
Do you like Spawn? Yeah.
We're here you go. Like, there's even, have you heard of Cosmo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hey, do you like Star Wars and Wizard of Oz? For whatever reason, we're gonna mix them and combine them and have fun.
They're together now.
Yeah. So I love Yu-Gi-Oh! For like weird stuff like that.
That's good though. But I mean, like, that's the thing I do, like, even about hearing the talk, even though I have no idea what's happening, is I like the passion. I like the fact that y'all give that much of a fuck about it. It's really cool though. I like that. You've always been in Yu-Gi-Oh! For like a while, but like, when did you originally first get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like forever? Was it because of it? It was before.
So, I have my brother to thank for that because I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! When that first came out. So he was in high school. He had the Joey Wheeler Blue Eyes like structure like box.
Red Eyes.
Yeah, and it was Red Eyes Black Dragon too. Yeah, he had that too. And I was just like, oh, Jesus. Like, we would just be playing, Duel Monsters at that point.
He would probably be like, hey, play some Duel Monsters.
Yeah, Duel Monsters.
I got the structure deck, and now I talk like this.
Yeah, he started talking to me. That's why he had to get rid of it. Yeah. It was just like, no, this is too much.
Yeah.
And then I fell off on it because, me being a 10-year-old kid who had everything in its mind, I was just running rampant with different things. I didn't get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Until Master Duel came out. And that's when I was just like, oh, this is cool and everything. But now it's complicated. Never mind. And then it wasn't until, I'd say, about maybe 5 or 6 months ago where I don't know why I just decided to revisit Master Duel. and that's when I made my pendulum deck. And I was like, holy shit, I love this. This is awesome. And then I just immediately started buying cards, merch. I the other day or last weekend I bought a Black Luster Soldier pop figure because I was like, this is awesome. I love this. So now I have like a Millennium Puzzle box, a tin box, and then I got the Battle of Chaos, like the little like display.
That's awesome.
Thing. And because I just love how Black Luster Soldier looks. It's really sick.
Yeah.
So that's really cool though, and that's the thing. Stuff like that is really nice. I'm glad. So rounding up the final story, what we got? Oh no, a couple more stories. So live services that have been announced to be ending this year because let's face it, this is the reason. Sometimes I'll see a live service game I really like, but I just don't get into it because they just die like that. I'm just like, what if I spent money on this? What if I really enjoyed it? What if this became part of my daily routine? My fucking mental health was being carried, and I'm like, I'm so happy ever since this ended my life. Gone. You know, it's like that. Thankfully, none of these games on this list can I say I give a fuck about. So good. But live service games that have been either already canned, effective immediately, or are being canned, announced coming soon. Apex Legends Mobile, which
no.
because obviously that was good. Battlefield Mobile.
What? They
That
haven't?
was
Exactly.
Oh.
A game called Crime Site.
Okay.
Crossfire X. Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai and Heroes Bonds. Echo VR. Knockout City is already going goodbye, bye. That fucking had so much goddamn hype behind it. It was supposed to be it's the visual Splatoon, but it's it's a zany sports dodgeball.
Yeah, that game was alive for a week.
Yeah.
I remember people were talking about it for 1 week.
And apparently it's not even, from what I heard, it's the fucking, once again, monetization is fucking ruining everything. It's so stupid. Love Live School Idol Festival and Rumbleverse. All going goodbye. So who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about any of that? Because it's just news, and it's the only reason I have to report it. But otherwise,
honestly, yeah. I feel like there's been a little bit of live service games that got canceled as soon as they got released, and some have there's only been a small little bit that have been actually genuinely well damn sad about. I think one of them. I don't know if you ever remember Hyperscape.
Hyperscape's not super familiar.
So it's another battle royale. It was at the time where I actually enjoyed battle royales during the time
there were 8 trillion of them.
Yeah, when there wasn't a million of them. I did enjoy it because it was a lot of parkour, fast action pace, gunplay, and even though I was terrible at it, it was super fun.
And sometimes that's what it takes to enjoy a game. You can be bad at a game and have fun.
Yeah, and they can't. I think they can't finish supporting after one season.
Jesus Christ!
I was like, well, okay, I guess there it goes.
Yeah, there goes that. They said no.
I think it was one of the games that I played during quarantine, if I remember now.
Okay, and that might have been
that's probably why.
Yeah, exactly. That could be a thing too. All right, Eric Van Allen through Kotaku reported that Activision Blizzard is going to have to pay $35 million in an SEC settlement. Our buddies over at Activision Blizzard have agreed to pay the settlement charges, which pretty much means that it was probably going to be way worse if they tried to fight it or they had no chance of fighting it. So they decided not to. But yeah, it's good. It was coming to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The charges, allegations, is because they failed to maintain a proper workplace. Fucking imagine that. Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine that. You have a workplace where people rape other people and all of a sudden it's considered not a good workplace.
Hey guys,
Crazy.
maybe this is just not working out, I guess, right?
Right, and then, what else
Damn,
did they
cancel culture?
I know pretty much. They also violated SEC whistleblower protection rule because they tried to basically prosecute people who were trying to whistleblow against the company. Or rather, they were trying to retaliate against, which is illegal. The SEC investigated into Activision Blizzard, charging that it did not have proper procedures for documenting workplace misconduct. Imagine that, because fucking corporate doesn't want them to know about their little rape parties. Because of this, it did not adequately disclose whether the misconduct problems merited disclosure to shareholders. Additionally, the SEC charged that Activision Blizzard was found in violation of the protection. So, Activision Blizzard is shitty, not necessarily news, but it is kind of nice little soccer goal. I don't know. I was trying to think of a sports analogy. I couldn't think of one.
Yeah.
To people out there, because even though this is probably not going to hurt them that hard, because $35 million is basically a tax write-off for fucking Activision Blizzard. They probably just made that much on microtransactions in Overwatch today. So it's one of those things where it's not going to hurt them to say, but it is nice to see that government bodies are starting to keep an eye on these companies because they need to. The fact that a lot of the misconduct, slurs, transphobia, rape, all this stuff is happening in all these companies and they were just going unchecked for so long. It's nice to see that even though it took so goddamn long, the government's starting to be like, yo, whoa, what is happening in these companies? And then actually going in there and checking their books, checking HR write-ups or lack thereof, the fact that there's no proper, the fact that there were no proper, fucking small, mom and pop shops or fucking baby corporations have ways to report misconduct and stuff like that. How do you not have channels for that? That's crazy. So, that being said, do you have any companies that you particularly are proud haven't fucked up yet, at least not royally? For me, my boys at Platinum almost had a scare before proper information came out, and it turns out, it's like Camilla just blocks people. Oh well, big fucking deal. Oh my god, getting blocked on Twitter. Imagine that.
Oh man, that whole Bayonetta thing.
Yeah, and then but thankfully that proved nothing that proved she's a piece of shit. Thankfully, so thankfully she got right out of the fucking park of her job. So hopefully she doesn't get hired again. So Platinum, I can still say I'm pretty proud of because they, for the most part, they did put out that shitty Babylon's Fall game, but otherwise, for the most part, I can still stand behind them without, being like, oh, they're EA or whatever. So thankfully there's that. And then for me also, RGG, fucking Yakuza's studios, great too. I feel like they do a great job. So both those companies, the reason I'm so proud of them is just because they both do really great quality control. Even though they take 8 years to make a game, it's because it's going to be fucking good.
Yeah.
The only time that they've ever dropped a few clunkers is always movie time games where they're on a shitty time crunch and they're being forced to release whatever's not ready yet, or in the case of Babylon's Fall, they were just kind of like, yeah, PlayStation paid us this much that we gave them this much product, and you get what you pay for, kind of thing, which isn't always the best thing, but at the same time also your PlayStation, come on bro. But are there any companies that y'all are particularly oh yay, my company doesn't fucking shit on people so bad? Or
I would probably say Arc System works, but it's mostly just because I just really like and support Daisuke Shibatari.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. Yeah, stuff like that. That's good. And they did do was it not fuck. Okay, I'm gonna look it up but Tony, any particular studio you've been
honestly not really, because I don't really follow a bunch of kind of studio works and stuff like that.
Closely,
just kinda, whatever the hell comes up in Google News or Twitter feed stuff, then I'll just be like, oh well, great, they're shitty, cool.
Yeah.
The only one I've been kind of just following in general, just because I played their game for a very long ass time, and I hate that I did, is Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
Bungie has a lot of ups and downs. Have a lot of they've done a lot of one big step forward, 2 steps back type of stuff when it comes to the way they do their games and stuff like that. So it's more of a love-hate relationship, and I really don't have any other companies that I'm really proud of. I can agree with you in the sense that with Yakuza's
RGG,
and RGG and as well as Platinum, definitely I'm really proud of those.
Yep. Because so far, thank God. Especially because Kamiya does have he hasn't admitted he loves Japanese fucking jazz gravure models. He's not shy on that. It's whatever. But at least he's not going around groping them at the bars and shit like that. So thankfully there's none of that bullshit. He's just I admire from afar, and I retweet all your pictures, and sometimes it goes on a Patrick's feed for no reason, and that's weird. But yeah, Code Shifter was the game I was thinking of that Arxis did, which I really liked, because they had little references. You had your Soul Bad Guy avatar that you could unlock and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah.
Wait, was that the one on Switch?
It was Switch, PS4 as well, and Xbox. Yeah, but yep.
You know what? I could say just from soft.
Yeah, there you go. Some
that too.
Very good. See, yeah, something like that. So, thankfully, we have games we support.
Yeah.
We have companies we support that still aren't complete pieces of shit. Thank goodness. And that being said, support whatever companies you want. The moral of the story: support what you want, but know who you're supporting. And that's the thing I try to do on this podcast. Everyone always tries to tell me I'm trying to be high-minded on my soapbox. I'm always trying to dick wag on everybody about how my companies don't fuck up, which they don't. But it's one of those things that I'm just trying to bring awareness, though. Like what you like, but know what you're supporting. And that's the moral of this episode. So now you learn that. Learn to get sued like Activision Blizzard. Good on them. Fuck them. I hope them, Microsoft and all them go away so that we can get some real companies in here to try to figure out the landscape and actually try to bring gaming back to what it was at one point. But that's looking at shit through very nostalgic and very, very fucking wishing that could actually happen. Yeah, enthusiasm blinded enthusiasm at its finest. If you have any questions, input, or want to talk about why your company's not as good as my company, you can talk to us about disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. And otherwise, we will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye. See you. Excellent.